welcome to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees regular meeting. It's Tuesday, September 13th at approximately 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, could we please have the roll call?
Yes, Ms. Davis. Mr. Burning.
Present.
Mr. Honolaw.
Present.
Ms. Davis.
Present.
All the trustees are present.
Thank you. Could I ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have minutes for approval from the regular session on August 9th, 2022, and a regular work session on August 23rd, and a special meeting, bid opening on July 29th, 2022. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
So moved. Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Burning, may we please have the financial report?
Yes, Ms. Davis. For the month ending August 31st, 2022, the township expenditures were $2,199,515.26, and the receipts were $8,360,903.92. The ending cash balance of $33,028,463.13 includes obligations for expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvement projects, and investments. What I do request is a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, updated and current revenue and reports for the period ending August 31st, 2022. Do I have that motion?
So moved. Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, and I just want everyone to know that our financial reports are available at the Township Building during regular business hours or on our website 24/7. Thank you, Ms. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Burning. Mr. Gilbert, would you please give us a report on departmental action and discussion items?
I will. Thanks, Ms. Davis. The first action item I do have is, from time to time, as the board is aware, we do look at the rental rates and the packages we offer back at the Grove Banquet Hall. And Tom Schneider, who manages that facility for us, has proposed some changes to the rental structure for that facility. And it's in response to just varying market conditions that will allow us to, I guess, make that facility more marketable to the public in today's sort of economic environment. It, at the same time, would allow him to streamline some of the packages instead of having so many addendums, create simpler, more comprehensive packages to eliminate some of the confusion when individuals look to rent the hall. And beyond that, as you can read in his report at the end, he talks about one of the things that we're seeing now in the market is the fact that there are entities where individuals are looking to get married and have the reception at the same place. And as a result, we don't really have that space. So he's saying in the future, if we can prove out that it may be economically viable to do so, we may want to look at creating an exterior space adjacent to the facility so that you could have outdoor wedding ceremonies and then have the actual reception in the hall that would actually make the property more marketable as well, if we can prove out that the economics of it work. So obviously the return on investment of that would have to be studied a lot more in depth. But at this time, he's looking at just an approval to change the rental structure and some of the pricing to allow some off-season pricing, as well as just to bundle some of the addendums into various rental packages. So unless there are any questions regarding his proposal, I would just seek a motion to approve the rental modification, or the rental rates for the Grove Banquet Hall.
So moved. Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, in the discussion items, we do have the property at 1139 Grace Wind Court. We have an update regarding that. And I'm going to turn that over to Laura and Mike and let them explain a little bit of where we're at with that, because there is a resolution on the agenda to take action on that property. Laura?
All right, thank you. This property, the board is well aware of this property. It has issues with relation to the actual structure, and there's a pool which is no longer functioning and dangerous at this point. As the board's aware, the first step is to declare the resolution to determine it to be dangerous, and if requested, set up a hearing. So we're starting that process. I did talk to Mr. Gould this afternoon, and we're perhaps going to work with the property owner on doing some sort of agreement to allow the property owner to demolish the premises and the pool himself. That's permitted by the statute. But we want to keep the timing in line, so we'd like to go forward with the resolution. I understand that a permit was in place for demolition that has not been approved and very likely will be rejected for modification. Have you heard anything more on that?
No, that's accurate.
Okay. And the fire chief did go, and as we often require, I did go look at the property today, and the premises is still in, I have the board can see, it still is in poor condition, obviously worse than the last time we reviewed it. So even if it is determined that the owner can demolish this effectively and in a timely manner, I think we want to proceed declaring it dangerous, because under the statute 50586, we can make an agreement with the property owner anytime to allow him to do that. So it isn't detrimental to that process, and if that doesn't come to fruition, we're still moving forward to protect the community from this property. So I recommend that when we get to the resolution portion, that the board approve that at this point. Does the board have any questions on the property?
So he applied for a demolition permit, but we think that it will not be approved?
He needs to cap the sanitary sewer line. When the house caught on fire, obviously the utilities were disconnected at that time, but in conjunction with this permit, he has to take proper action to cap the sanitary sewer. Once he does that, then more than likely the permit will be approved.
There'll be an opportunity to speak during citizen participation. I know you're here regarding this property, but this isn't the hearing for that. They're simply going to take the action, and then you'll be able to discuss it at the citizens participation point of the agenda.
Okay. That's all I have.
So, Ms. Abrams, you need a motion?
No.
Not till the resolution.
There's a resolution, but we want to let him speak before
You can have him speak after you make a motion to put it on the resolution on the table. So you make a motion in a second, and before you vote, before you vote on it.
Discussion.
Before we have a, we'll let you speak before we vote. Yes, sir.
Next on the agenda, it is National Disaster Preparedness Month, and I will let Chief Leininger explain what that is and what we are doing here in Springfield Township to participate in it.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Yes, September is National Disaster Preparedness Month. So really, what does that mean? And I like to call it the what if. It's a great opportunity to get together with your family and talk about the what ifs that could occur actually here in Springfield Township. What is our greatest exposure? Well, we have severe weather, and also we're seeing more frequent power outages. And when that occurs, obviously you're inconvenienced. Trees may fall, blocking your roadways. So you need to have a contingency plan. So it's a great opportunity this month. Sit down with your family, play the what if game, and come up with a contingency plan to address some of those challenges that you may face during a disaster. I also want to remind everybody that next month is National Fire Prevention Month. We will be having our annual open house on October the 8th. It will be from 12 noon until 3. It'll be held here at 9150 Winton Road, which is our fire department headquarters. And so we encourage everyone to come up and participate. You can see firefighters in action. You can see the fire equipment that your tax dollars support. And it gives us a great opportunity to meet you, get feedback, and you get to see the firehouse and the equipment as well. If I can go back, Mr. Gilbert, just in brief, with National Disaster Preparedness Month, it also gives us an opportunity to play the what-if game and to look and see how well prepared we are for disasters in Springfield Township. As you know, over the last 20-plus years, we've worked hard to develop a comprehensive emergency operation plan. We work with the Hamilton County Emergency Management Agency to make sure that all the resources during a disaster are available, and we can take full advantage of that to mitigate any hazards that may occur, and also to come to the need and of our residents. So on September the 27th, at your next board meeting, we are going to present the revisions to our emergency operation plan because it is a very fluid document. It's something that constantly changes. We make changes not only to available resources, but also just how we apply social media and how we can use various communication means to get information out to our residents. So it's a very fluid document. We're proud to present it to you on the morning of September the 27th, and we'll ask for your approval at that time to accept the updates that we're going to submit to you.
That'll be at our work session?
Yes. Yeah. Lieutenant Randy Miller is here in the audience. He is our resident EMA expert, if you will, and he helped and actually spearheaded the most recent revisions and modifications to our EOP plan. You know, I would ask and hope that he's able to attend on the 27th when we actually adopt the plan. But the revisions, I think, were much needed. It brought it more in line with what Hamilton County EMA is looking for in terms of a jurisdiction's EOP plan, and at the same time made it much more concise and simpler for those of us staff that are going to be able or are going to be expected to implement that plan in the event of a disaster. So kudos to Randy for that, and Rob, and really all the staff that was involved in making those modifications. So,
is the Smart 911 included in that entire plan?
Yes, ma'am, it is. Yes. And actually, Randy will be making the presentation on the 27th, and we'll explain some of those and be available for questions. And I'll also provide a copy beforehand for you to review.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we have the personnel update. Looking at that, we had the seasonal end in the Public Works Department of Matthew Gall and Kyle Bill, both seasonal laborers. They are off to school at this point. And in the Arts and Community Center, we had the new hire of Joy Martin, part-time event coordinator, and the resignation of Tikwa Irving, which was a part-time guest monitor. That concludes the personnel update, and the community events and programs. Board has copies of those. I'm sure Kim has that information out on Facebook and the website. But she's been busy in September with events, as well as in October there will be several events. One of which will be on the 24th back in the parking lot here. Is we're happy to host Drive Electric Cincinnati, which is an event where there will be various electric and hybrid vehicles for people to look at, review, drive, and that will be from 10 to 2 on Saturday the 24th, correct, Mike?
That is correct.
And they chose us because, you know, we did work with the company that's hosting this event called Electrata to put in the electric vehicle charging stations back at the Arts Center. So, and we have the space, and it made sense for them. So they asked if they could utilize our facility, and we were happy to do so. Mr. Leininger already mentioned the fire department open house, and we will have also on the same day the dedication of the Charlie Harper sculpture at the intersection of Winton and Galbraith. So that will take place on the 8th as well at 10:30 a.m. Unless the board has any questions, you have copies of departmental activity reports. That concludes my report.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. There are 7 resolutions before the board tonight for consideration. The first resolution is resolution number 75-2022, resolution to initiate a zoning map amendment for listed parcels from B2 General Business District to C PUD Commercial Planned Unit Development. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo.
Aye.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 76-2022, supplemental appropriations within the General Fund, Road and Bridge Fund, Police District Fund Fire District Fund, Road District Fund, Ambulance and Medical Services Fund, Residential Recycling Incentive Fund, and the Public Improvement Tax Increment Equivalent Fund. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 77-2022, authorizing Christopher Gilbert, Springfield Township Administrator, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Brentwood Village Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 78-2022, authorizing Christopher Gilbert, Springfield Township Administrator, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Pleasant Run Farms Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 79-2022, authorizing Christopher Gilbert, Springfield Township Administrator, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required for the Ridgevale Rehabilitation Project. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw.
Aye.
Ms. Davis.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Okay. Next is resolution number 80-22, resolution declaring a dangerous property condition at 1139 Grace Wing Court and ordering the removal of buildings or other structures located on that property.
I would make a motion to second it, and then we'll have discussion.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay.
Discussion before the vote.
Or would you like to step up? Please state your name and your address, please.
I'm Elijah Clark. My address is 10124 Windswept Lane.
Street name?
Elijah Clark,
Your street name?
Windswept.
Windswept.
Winsway.
Since the last time I came, basically what I did was, I guess the board wanted to know if the structure was sound on the house. So I got an engineer's report, found out that the structure was sound. I was able to get a higher engineer, get preliminary plans, and I think my plans are supposed to be finished October 1st. And I scheduled a demo for the existing building down to the structure, because the structure is still good, for it to be demoed. As far as I think the sewer, the only thing that the reason they would need to cap it is if we were totally demoing. But since we're not, there's no reason for it to be capped. So that's where I'm at.
When you say down to the structure, what do you mean?
Foundation.
You mean the foundation? Okay. All right. So you're basically taking it all the way down to the foundation, and you're going to build. Your plan is to build back on the existing foundation.
Correct.
And your contention is because you're leaving the foundation that you do not have to cap the sewer.
Correct.
MSD may not agree with you.
Yeah, they may not agree. I'm just sharing with you the information. After you and I spoke this morning, I contacted the building department, and maybe it's something to do with your application and the way it was submitted. I'm not sure. I mean, that's literally their decision, whether they approve it or deny it. We don't have any involvement. We just accept their feedback, so.
But what we'll do here is, this resolution simply then allows us to, because it is declared then a dangerous property, it then will allow us to, under the law, enter into an agreement with you to have you make the improvements that you're proposing.
Yeah, as far as being a dangerous property, everything that was supposed to be done to the property, I did. as far as securing it.
Right, but that doesn't make it not dangerous.
But I mean, look at that pool. What if a kid falls in that pool?
Pool has a gate around it that's secure.
But in any event, the structure itself is dangerous because it's, one, uninhabitable, right? You couldn't get a certificate of occupancy to live there.
No, you can't.
So in that sense, by its just because of that, it could be declared dangerous. So the structural elements are one part of the criteria to determine something dangerous, but there are others as well, and the very fact that it's uninhabitable makes it dangerous. So just that on its face, we don't even need to go through the other parts of it. But in addition, without this process, there's still another process that we could employ against the property, which you wouldn't want either, which is the property maintenance code. So the property has endless amounts of violations as it relates to property maintenance. So
You told me that also, but I don't know which one. I mean, like, I haven't been briefed on any of the violations.
well, the fact that the second story is gone is the most glaring one. So I would say that let us go ahead and fulfill our obligations here tonight and pass this resolution. Then Laura, our law director, and Mike will get with you and work out a plan, a mutually agreeable plan and time limit for you to make the improvements that you're proposing. Okay?
So I don't have I can't object to it at all.
You can object to it.
Well, this is not, this is the initial resolution that starts the process. What this process is the board declares it dangerous, at which point then they'll provide that information to you. And you can ask for a hearing if you want a hearing. So there will be an opportunity for you to present evidence regarding the property. But what we're saying here is you're already saying you're going to demolish it. So I think we're all on the same page. So I don't think we're going to end up having to go to a hearing. I think what will happen is we'll enter into an agreement saying you understand you have to demolish it. Our remedy would be to demolish it. Would be our remedy for if we find it dangerous and if in the hearing it's proved that it's dangerous, that would be the remedy. So if you're already going to demolish it, our interest is just making sure you demolish it in a timely manner and according to the law. You're already getting a building permit, and we appreciate, a demolition permit, the opposite of a building permit, and we appreciate that. So this is not saying you're doing anything wrong. It's just saying the property's been this way for a long time. It's dangerous and we have to get moving on it.
Yeah, it's hard finding an engineer to take it in time and manner and get.
Our first choice is for you to go ahead and demolish it and rebuild there. We don't want another alternative.
Yeah.
But we just have to make sure that that goes ahead and gets done. So we're not against you fixing it up and making it, a nice home again. We're all for that. We just need to make sure we're, going through the processes that we need to go through to get, a timeline and so forth for you to go ahead and get those things taken care of.
And as Mr. Gilbert said, it's been going on for a while, so this resolution will just kind of get that process going and get it started so we can remedy this whole situation.
And we can talk after the meeting and I'll show you the process, but I think this is going to be worked out mutually based on what you're already doing. They just need to follow the procedures. That's what this is.
We have a motion.
We have a motion.
And a second.
You just need to vote now.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Ms. Davis?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 81-2022, authorizing private sale of unneeded and unfit for use property in the police department. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Ms. Davis?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is resolution number 82-2022, declaring motor vehicles located on public or private property in Springfield Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles pursuant to RC 505.173 and ordering the removal of such vehicles pursuant to resolution number 80-2012 and RC 505.871. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Ms. Davis? Resolution carries.
Resolution number 83-2022, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 505.87, at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Ms. Davis?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution number 84-2022, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance and certifying same to Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Mr. Burning.
Aye.
Mr. Honolo?
Aye.
Ms. Davis?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Is there any old business before the board this evening, Mr. Burning?
I do not.
Is there any new business before the board?
Not this evening. No.
Is there anyone in the audience in attendance who would like to address the board? So, step to the podium. State your name and address for the record, please. Hello.
I'm James Reeve, and I live at 1026 John Quill Lane. And I just wanted to say, I had a couple different things, but I wanted to say, first of all, thank you for all that you're doing to make our community nicer. We're very excited. I've talked with my family and friends, and we're all very excited about the Charlie Harper sculpture that's going to be going up on the corner of Winton and Galbraith. So I grew up on Winsray, and my parents live on Glenbrook, so we're very excited about that. And I also wanted to say thank you for all that you're doing with Warden Nature Preserve. My wife and I are anxiously awaiting that. I wanted to ask if there would end up being some sort of playground or something there. Personally, I would like to have a playground, but I don't know if that was in the works. And also on behalf of those with kids who might want to walk their kids with a stroller back there, that there'd be some sort of paved path, because strollers wouldn't be able to be navigable on a chipped path of any kind, whether it was mulch or whether it was some sort of shale or something like that.
James, as you and
Yes.
I have talked, the
Yes.
main path will be paved. That's the plan. There are no plans for a playground because, as nature preserve connotates, playgrounds generally aren't in nature.
I understand.
So,
I wasn't sure if that was
Yeah.
part of the plan, so
unfortunately, no.
that's good to know. So hopefully there'll be some sort of playground still in that neighborhood, whether it's through a church or something like that. So I hope that the church might put one up or something.
Yeah.
The other thing that I had was this is concerning the crime rate at an intersection that is adjacent to the township at the corner of Galbraith and Daly. I don't know if you saw the news. About 2 weeks ago, someone was shot at the Sunoco gas station. I think it's a Sunoco gas station there. Again, I know that's not township property. All four corners of that intersection are the city of Cincinnati, so that's College Hill. But I just wanted to express concern as a township resident and express some concern that I'd heard from some other people that I've talked to. My sister-in-law used to live on Colette Lane, and she actually moved because of the crime rate at that intersection. So the crime rate at that intersection is affecting property values and the quality of life of those in Springfield Township. So I didn't know if there's anything that could be done as far as reaching out to the city, asking them to step up patrols. I know that's not our jurisdiction. I know that's not Springfield Township's jurisdiction, but it's certainly a concern to me that someone was killed there 2 weeks ago. There have been numerous shootings. I'm afraid to drive through the intersection. It's unreasonable, probably. I'm not going to be hurt, but it's kind of a scary intersection for those I've spoken to.
Chief, I don't know if you want to address that at all.
Yeah, I mean, we're very well aware of the situation down there. We've been in constant contact with the city. The chiefs meet once a month, all in Hamilton County. Just last Wednesday, that intersection was addressed with me and one of the assistant chiefs of the city. So they're assuring us that they've got some proactive policing plans and some investigations that they're doing there, and we're neighbors, so we're happy to assist when emergencies happen down there. So we're going to keep our eye on it and be attentive to it. So yeah, we're on top of it. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to express that concern, but I figured that you guys probably were in communication with them already.
It creates a lot of business for us too. So being that close, so it's something.
I figured that it was something that was on your radar, but I do know it is affecting those that live in the neighborhood around it. So.
Thank you.
And that's all I had. Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Most of y'all know me, so I don't have to introduce myself, do I? Reverend Angelo Bryce. I am a member of the Lexington Heights Civic Association. I'm the president. I have my colleague, Mr. Gene Cole, who is a member of Lexington Heights. I came to you guys on July the 23rd in preparation for an event for that day. In preparation for it and planning, I did not receive any hiccups. I didn't receive any bumps in the road. In fact, it went so smooth it scared me. Okay? The courtesy that was rendered was on point. I've learned as you live in life, one of the most important things to do is to learn how to say thank you. Okay? We set up a meet and greet for the community to come out and to meet the Chief of Police, the fire department, and the ambulatory service. Everybody came out. Chief came out, he answered a few questions, had a few conversations, drank a few beers. I'm just joking, he drank but he came out and we kept him cool. He drank some tea and drank water, there was plenty of it there. The fire department came out and brought their truck with them. The kids loved it because they turned on the water hose and they ended up spraying the kids. I saved this last one for this reason. The ambulatory service truck came out. The stroke unit and kidney unit. In our organization, we have a double kidney transplant individual. And she's had 2 sets of kidneys. This was important for her to know that we had this in our community. And I had been telling her about it for the last 2 years, but she never knew or never seen it. So she was ecstatic when these people showed up with that truck. So as a token of our appreciation, because we can't pay you guys for what y'all do, you don't have to do what you do, but we're so glad that you did. And so as a token of our appreciation, Chief Blythe, we just want to give you a certificate of appreciation. Thank you for your service to the community. Manager?
Yes, sir.
I know that they house the stroke unit in your garage, so I'm going to ask you to take this in conjunction with what we've done for the police department. Yes, sir. I'm going to ask you to take this and remember that we as a community, we need you. Even though you finna go home and sit down. You have your guys come back. You have your guys come back and do what they're supposed to do on that ambulatory service. And this is for the fire department. We have intentions on making this an annual event. So if you guys could, let them know that they will be coming back.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
We thank you.
Yes, sir. Pleasure. We appreciate your support.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Reverend Bryce, for all you do for the community out there. We really appreciate it. Okay, is there any other business? Yes.
Word. Most of you are familiar with the big house, Blue Gate and Meredith. They normally have a backhoe parked there in a truck. Don Hamilton, he was the owner. He passed away September the 1st. Okay? The community is mourning because he was an asset to this community. He did a lot of work in this community, and the people know him. Keep his wife in prayer.
Thank you. Reverend Bryce, thank you. I know Don, and he's a tremendous guy.
Yes.
Yeah, first class, yeah. Okay.
Is there any other business before the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
All right.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all for coming.